Most people who are broke aren't broke because they don't make enough money. They're broke because of what they do between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. every single day without ever realizing it's costing them. And here's what's strange. The habits that build real wealth, most of them have nothing to do with money, not directly. They don't require a six-figure salary or a stock portfolio or a side hustle that eats your weekends. They require something much simpler and in some ways, much harder. And I'll tell you exactly what that is. But stick with me for a second, because there are two things most people get completely wrong about building financial strength. I'll come back to both of them. One of them will probably surprise you. The difference between someone who retires at 55 with options and someone who's still grinding at 67 with regret isn't intelligence. It's not even income. It's the quiet architecture of their daily life, the 10 or 15 decisions they make before noon that nobody ever sees. Let's get into it. The first one sounds embarrassingly simple, and that's exactly why most people skip it. Every morning, before you open email, before you check your phone, before you do anything, you spend 5 minutes looking at your money. Not analyzing it, not stressing about it, just looking. Your account balance, your credit card total. What went out yesterday? This single act changes your relationship with money at a psychological level. When you avoid looking at your finances, your brain fills the gap with anxiety, which is almost always worse than reality. When you look, you create something called financial awareness, a constant low-grade consciousness of where you actually stand. And people who know where they stand make better decisions for the rest of the day. Here's a number that should bother you. The average American spends 18 minutes a day on financial decisions, but less than 2 minutes actually understanding their financial position. 18 minutes deciding, 2 minutes knowing. That's the gap that keeps most people poor. Habit 2 is about something you do every single day that you've probably never thought of as a financial habit. You eat, but not just that. You decide what to eat, where to buy it, and whether you're going to walk into a restaurant because you're hungry or because you didn't plan. The single most reliable predictor of someone's discretionary spending isn't their shopping habits or their subscriptions. It's their food decisions. Meal planning even loosely, even imperfectly, saves the average household between $150 and $300 every single month. That's $3,600 a year. That's a Roth IRA contribution. That's a trip to Mexico. That's sitting in your bank because you thought about dinner on Sunday instead of Wednesday at 7 p.m. Number 3 is where it gets uncomfortable. You need a hard boundary between income and lifestyle. And right now, for most people in their 30s, there isn't one. Here's what actually happens. You get a raise, you feel good, you upgrade your car lease because you deserve it. You move to a slightly nicer apartment. You start saying yes to more dinners out. And suddenly the raise, the thing that was supposed to move the needle, is completely invisible. It disappeared into a lifestyle. Economists call this hedonic adaptation. I call it the trap nobody warns you about when you're 28 and just got promoted. The habit is this. Every time your income increases, you immediately redirect at least 50% of the increase to savings or investments before your lifestyle has time to notice. Automate it. Make the transfer happen on payday. Your lifestyle can't spend money it never sees. Drop a comment right now. Tell me which habit you're starting tomorrow. I want to know. Now here's the fourth habit, and this is one of the two things I said most people get wrong. Most people think building wealth is about restriction. Say no to coffee. Don't go out. Live like a monk until you're 60 and then enjoy your life. That is not what financially strong people do. What they do instead is audit ruthlessly and spend intentionally. There's a difference between cutting everything and cutting what doesn't matter to you. One makes you miserable and unsustainable. The other makes you powerful. Once a week, takes about 15 minutes, you go through what you spent and ask one question. Did that actually feel worth it? Not, was it responsible? Not, should I have? Did it feel worth it? The subscriptions you forgot about, the impulse buy you haven't touched, the dinner that cost $90 and tasted like $35. When you do this weekly, you train your brain to spend on what genuinely satisfies you. This is what behavioral economist Richard Thaler calls mental accounting. The way our brains assign value to spending based on how it was framed, not how much it actually cost us. Most people's money is leaking through mental accounting errors they've never once examined. Habit 5 is the one that separates people who learn from people who transform. You read, or listen, or watch, but intentionally, not passively. 30 minutes a day of genuine financial education compounds in a way no investment account can match. And I don't mean scrolling through takes on Twitter or watching another reaction video. I mean content that makes you think differently about money, risk, time, and decision making. The people I've seen make the sharpest financial leaps in their 30s and 40s aren't the ones with the best spreadsheets. They're the ones who understood something most people never do. That knowledge about how money works is itself an asset, and it doesn't depreciate. Habit 6, protect your credit score like it's a second income source. Because for most people, it literally is one. A difference of 100 points on your credit score can mean paying $200 more per month on a mortgage. Over 30 years, that's $72,000. Not because you made bad investments, because you didn't pay attention. Check it weekly. Dispute errors immediately. Keep your credit utilization below 30%. These aren't advanced moves. They're table stakes that most people treat as optional. Habit 7 hits different once you feel it. Every week, you do one thing that grows your earning potential. One thing. A course you take 20 minutes on. A conversation with someone doing work you want to do. An application you send. A skill you practice. The people who build lasting wealth aren't just cutting costs. They're relentlessly expanding their ceiling. Your income is not fixed. Your current salary is not a verdict. It's a starting point that can be moved by the quality of what you know and who knows you. 1 hour a week, compounded over a year, changes what you're worth in the market. This is not motivation. Habit 8 is the one that will cost you if you skip it. Emergency fund contribution, every single paycheck, no exceptions. Not a lump sum someday. Not when things settle down. Now, a small fixed percentage, even $50, every single time money comes in. The emergency fund isn't just financial protection. It is the thing that prevents you from going backward every time life throws something at you. And life will throw something at you. Your transmission will go. Someone in your family will need something. The moment you have 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting untouched in a high-yield savings account, your relationship with risk changes completely. You stop making fear-based decisions. And this is where I want to stop and tell you the second thing most people get wrong. They think this is about discipline. It's not. Discipline is unreliable. It runs out. It fails on the days you need it most. What actually works is environment design, making the right financial behavior the path of least resistance. Automate your savings before you can spend them. Remove your credit card from one-click shopping. Keep your investment app on your home screen and your social media app buried in a folder. You're not fighting your impulses. You're designing a life. This is the single shift that changed how I think about all of this. Not doing more. Designing better. Habit 9. Track your net worth. Not obsessively. Once a month. Assets minus liabilities equals net worth. Write it down. Watch it move. Even a slow increase is proof the system is working, and proof matters when the world is telling you that progress isn't happening fast. And habit 10 is the simplest and the most overlooked. Sleep. 7 to 8 hours. Every night, sleep-deprived people make worse financial decisions. The research on this is unambiguous. They impulsively buy more. They underperform at work. They're more reactive and less strategic. Here's the thing, nobody tells you when you start taking your money seriously. The habits themselves are not the point. The point is the person you become when you live this way. Someone who pays attention, who designs their environment deliberately, who knows where they stand, who doesn't leave their financial future to luck or willpower. That person makes different decisions in 1,000 small moments. You don't need to be smarter. You don't need a different salary. You need to own your days before your days own you. If this hit differently than what you expected, subscribe. Because this channel exists for the people who are done being casual about their future.